Ibn Salah, the great muhaddith, who came a century before Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah. Ibn Taymiyyah died in 728. Ibn Salah died a century before. He said, Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, he said, and what is appropriate here is to mention the statement of Ibn Salah, the muhaddith and the imam, that he said that it is better for us to take the madrasa of Al-Amadi, Abu al-Hasan Al-Amadi, to take the madrasa away from this mubtadi', from this innovator, this Jahmi, Mu'tazili. He said it is more appropriate and it is more important that we take that away from him than conquering and regaining Akka, which is modern day Acre, in Palestine from the Crusaders. Why? Because what was he controlling Al-Amadi? Al-Amadi was controlling a madrasa where he was teaching children and teaching youth and cultivating upon the aqidah of the Mu'tazila. So they could go out and spread this deviation. So Ibn Taymiyyah quoted him, Ibn Salah, and he said that it is more important that we get that from him than we get Akka back from the Crusaders. And Akka is a port town in Palestine. So think about your priorities. Think about how things are going to get better and how we are going to truly aid. And it's not, you talk about them boycotting Israel. That's what they say. No problem. As I said before, as you're walking past the aisle, if you see an item that was produced in Israel, keep away from it. No problem. This is your right to do if you wish to do. As some of the ulama have mentioned. From them Shaykh Ubaid. From them Shaykh Al-Albani. He said this is at your discretion. However, if the ruler commands you, the Muslim ruler in a Muslim country, he says, no products from that country allowed in here, banned. You cannot bring them in and nor can you purchase them. But as for now, you go into a place, they sell products from China, Pakistan, Bangladesh and Israel and so on and so forth. And now you say don't buy anything from them. What has China done to you? Actually, maybe they have done something. I don't know. Right. Pakistan, Morocco, Egypt. Products coming from all over those places. Now you're not going to buy them either. Khalas, it's easy to walk past an aisle, but now you're going to put picket lines outside the Tesco's, a supermarket or Asda or Walmart. Which aql allows that? Is Kashmir, you know the story of Kashmir, right? Kashmir is occupied by who? By India. Or a portion of it occupied by India, occupied Kashmir. Is it occupied territory? Occupied territory. You know who recognizes it to be occupied territory as well? Even the United Nations. They recognize it to be under occupation and there must be a referendum there so it can return back to whoever. So they wanted a referendum that dates back to 1948. In Kashmir, to make it, if the Muslims wanted to be a country for Muslims only, then it can separate from India. Indians didn't allow it. And they kill. The Indians go in there, the Indian army kills Muslims there. You're aware of that? For how many years? Since 1948 till now. Has it stopped? Hasn't stopped till this day. Kashmir is occupied by a foreign force, by Indians. By a government that is not a Muslim government. The Kashmiris, by and large, over 90% are Muslim. And they don't want to be under the control of India. But India refuses. And now there is the Indians used to come in, and they still go in, and there's a media block and all types of things going on there. So now, if they are setting up a principle, because principles are principles. They say don't buy the goods of Israel. Why? Because Israel is occupying what? Palestine. So by that measure, Kashmir is occupied by whom? So if the principle applies there, it doesn't apply here. What, the blood of a Kashmiri is worthless as compared to the blood of a Palestinian. So a Kashmiri Muslim is nothing. His blood is easy. So if you're going to boycott Israel, who else should you boycott? According to their principle. India. Tell them to stop listening to Bollywood. Tell them to stop watching cricket on those cricket channels that come out of India. Tell them to stop. Is India here now playing England? Or have they gone? They're still here? Tell them to stop going to those games. How many Muslims go to the game, India versus England? Why don't they do that now? Every product that comes out of India, boycott it. You know what's going to be the hardest for them to boycott? The movies. It's a bigger movie industry than Hollywood, Bollywood is. They won't give it up. Will they give up all the food and the Indian restaurants that they go to? Even though most of the Indian restaurants are possibly Bengali anyway. But will they stop buying Indian products? Made in India, we're not going to buy it. Rice that comes out of India. Spices that come out of India. Will they stop it? They won't stop it. Why won't they stop it? Is not Kashmir occupied? Is the Indian army not oppressing the Muslims in Kashmir? Of course they are. Who speaks about this? Them. We mention it to them. Because our principle remains the same. If you want these problems to finish and this turmoil and this weakness in the ummah to come to an end, then return back to your religion. Return back to Tawheed. Return back to acting upon the deen. Return back to the way of the Sahaba radiAllahu anhum. Don't come and set up principles today that you know tomorrow you can't stick to. Are they going to boycott now all of these supermarkets that they boycotted for 3 weeks in Ramadan? They're going to boycott them now up until Palestine is liberated? Will they do it? They won't do it. And they'll stop calling to it. Why? Because they need to go into Starbucks. And they need to go into Tesco's. And they need to shop at Asda. And they need to go and buy their petrol from Tesco because it's cheaper from everywhere else. They will not their boycott will not continue. It's a mockery that they are making of this affair. The oil doesn't come from Israel. Tesco is not an Israeli company. It's a British company. Or American, I don't know. Where is it? British. So look at how these people behave and look how they are. They don't have a fixed principle. In reality, if you want to take those fatwa that you are bringing from Shaykh al-Albani, rahimahullah ta'ala, where he mentioned that any nation that is at war with the Muslims directly in that nation, then you should not buy products from that country. No problem. In which case, stop buying from India. Because you want to take that as a principle, alal itlaq. But where are the WhatsApp and where are the Twitters against Indian products and Indian goods? Where are the Twitters? Where's the social media? Where's the Facebook now calling for the boycotting of all Indian products? I haven't seen it in the last 20 years of my da'wah. Oh, sure. Yeah, of course. And that's the issue here. That's why when some of the ulama of our times, mashayikh, they were asked about the boycotting issue, they said that this is some of the means or some of the tricks used by the Hizbiyin to claw people into their groups and their parties. That's what it is. It's a means of dragging them into their methodologies. Ahlul Sunnah, their vision is focused. You want rectification? Kitab, Sunnah, Tawheed, Aqeedah. Ittiba. Follow the manhaj of the Salaf of this ummah, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. Naam.